Hello world, my name is Paul from the Backyard Hibachi. Today I'm going to show you guys the tools of the trade, what we use as professional hibachi chefs, how and why we use them. First up is the spatula and fork. These are used to mix the fried rice and all the different ingredients. The spatula is also used as a serving utensil. Back in the day, we used to use a little bit longer. This is a 6-inch spatula. We used to use about an 8-inch spatula. And what happened, the owner started trying to control the portion sizes. So we changed up to the 6-inch. We could control the portion sizes a little better, which meant less portions and more profit for the owners. The fork and spatula is also used for the opening show. It's the show that kind of showcases our skill as a hibachi chef, and it also kind of grabs your attention as well as the customer. This spatula here is a Dexter brand. I have links in the description below on how you can get this exact spatula. And my fork is actually a Mercer brand, but the Dexter brand works as well. And once you get your fork, you're gonna wanna, you see how I have this worn down a little bit on this side? That's so I can more accurately, cut with my knife. The short end and the long end right here. Some people actually squeeze this in with a pair of pliers as well. And moving on to the salt and pepper shakers. These are called the dredge shakers. We use these for salt and pepper, obviously, but to be able to control them, you want to kind of add tape around the other holes and leave about 6 of these holes open so you can control the pour of the salt. And same as the pepper as well. You want to be able to control how much salt and pepper is going into your food. But these are also great for showmanship as well, and it also adds noise while you're cooking on the grill. And I get a lot of comments about why am I making such a racket when I'm on the grill. It's because at the restaurants we train to make noise because we want to pull the customer's attention towards the grill, be able to watch us cook and do what we do on the grill. And another variation of the salt and pepper shakers is also the pepper mill. This one is actually one of my favorites also because while you're cooking you can still kind of give your customers a show. So while you're cracking pepper, you can kind of just do your thing out there. And I'll have links in the description below as well. And next we'll move on to the bottles. 24-ounce bottle and 16-ounce bottle. The 24-ounce bottle is commonly used for soy sauce and oil. Because if you're cooking 10-15 tables a night, you want the biggest possible bottle so you don't have to refill it after every few tables. I like to use this old sake bottle. I've had this for probably 12 years now. And I've always said, once this bottle breaks, I'm quitting hibachi for good. So the reason why I like to use this is because the pour is consistent every time whenever you pour it, versus if you're having to squeeze. So like say a chef is having a good day, he might be squeezing a little bit less, or say somebody pissed him off in the kitchen, he's going to be squeezing a lot harder. And that's actually where the term salty comes from, is when you're mad, you're salty. When you cook, your food tends to be a little bit saltier. I don't know if that's true or not. And I'll have links in the description below as well for the squeeze bottles. And the nifty little tip is, just to use a old 6-pack case of beer and just throw your bottles in there. And this is from my cart when I worked at the restaurants. All right, next is the knives. Yeah, this is the grill knife. Usually it's a 5-inch petty, but because I've sharpened it so many times, it's kind of gotten a lot thinner and shorter. And it's also cold outside, so this is called a scabbard. So it goes right here on my hip. Usually I'll have a belt on and it'll clip on with this little clip. But I recently just broke it because it's so old. So I'll have to super glue it or find a welder to put it back together. I'll have a link for the scabbard as well, and I've also linked this exact knife onto the description as well. Story about this knife case is this was gifted to me by the master chef that taught me pretty much everything I know now. Not many of these around. I don't even think they sell them anymore, so I really don't know how old this is, but I've been using this for 15 years. He probably used it at the beginning of his career, and he started back in the 70s. So yeah, this thing is very special to me. And some of the knives that we use in the kitchen as well. We'll use, this is called a gyotto, or chef's knives. I'll have this linked in the description as well, but this is made from high carbon blue steel. It's probably the sharpest or the highest edge retaining steel that you can find. Japanese high carbon blue steel. Yeah, this thing, actually I've only had this for maybe 3 or 4 years, and before that I used VG10 steel, which is kind of like my introduction to Japanese knives. At that time I was training to be a sushi chef, so I kind of had the rundown on knives and different steel and what the different name for different Japanese knives were. And this is called sujihiki. This is to cut fish, but also in hibachi I use it to peel the steak, breaking down filet and strip sirloin and ribeye as well. This one here is called a diba. It's very heavy. See the spine? The spine is very thick because you're kind of cutting through bone. This is when you're breaking down fish, say salmon or sea bass, and you're breaking, you have to cut through the bone to get that fillet out. So those were the knives. Now we're gonna move on to the knife sharpener. I use a block. This is a 1000 grit. I used to have a 10,000 grit. It's like a whiter color, and that's for shining up your knives, but that one wore down really quickly. But this 1000 grit is general purpose, you know, to sharpen the knife, to kind of get your edge back into the knife, and then kind of realign the teeth as well. Yeah, 1000 grit. I'll have a link in the description as well. And while we're out in the grill, we have to clean the grill while we're cooking. So this is a very handy tool. It's a grill scraper. You can actually find this in a hardware store in the paint scraping aisle. They used to sell these at restaurant supply stores, but I don't really see them often anymore. And this is really good because it's lightweight. Yeah, it cleans up the grill really well. One trick is to actually take the blade and switch it around to the non-sharp side. The sharp side will be a little bit too sharp, and it kind of strips away your seasoning on the grill. So you want to flip it over to the dull side, and it'll scrape off. It won't scrape off the seasoning, but it'll scrape off, you know, whatever is stuck on the grill. And last but not least, the fire shakers. These I made myself. You light the ends of these at the very end of the show. You light the ends of these, and then imagine these are on fire, and you're kind of playing a show with them. This is a really good closer for side tips, kind of like climatic ending to your cook. And that's pretty much all the tools that we use professionally as hibachi chefs. If you guys have any questions, comment below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys commenting, liking the videos, watching the videos. The channel has grown like way past my expectations. So thank you guys very much. Until next time, thank you.